Hi and welcome. In this short Python tutorial, you will get the answer on the question, how do you create a dummy variable in Python? In fact, you will learn how to create dummy variables out of more than one variable or column in your dataset as well. It's very easy to create a dummy variable in Python if we use Pandas. In this video, we will go through a couple of examples, but first we will start by reading data from a CSV file. After that, we'll start by creating dummy variables from two factors. We will learn how to add a prefix, remove the prefix, before continuing with the three factor levels. Finally, we will also look at dummy coding variables from more than one column. Now, there are links in the description below to the dataset I used here, a blog post about creating dummy variables in Python, and finally a Jupyter notebook containing all the code examples we use here. Before we start getting into how to create a dummy variable in Python, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button. Obviously, you need to have the Python package pandas installed to use it to create dummy variables. You can install pandas using paperconda, for example. See the video linked in the description for more information. Now, we're going to read data from a CSV file that can be found online, but first we need to import pandas. The convention is to import pandas as PD, so let's do that. Next thing we're going to do is to load the data into a pandas data frame. First, we cut and paste the location of the CSV file. Second, we create the data frame. We call it def, and we use pd read CSV and put the data URL here, and we put index underscore call with the parameter 0. So the first column in the CSV file becomes the index of the data frame. Finally, we can have a look at the first 5 rows of the pandas data frame using the head method. Here we can see that we have some columns that include categorical data, rank, discipline, and sex. Later we're going to work with these to create dummy variables in Python. If you want to find out the levels of a categorical variable in a pandas data frame, we can use the unique method. For example, let's have a look at the rank column. So we type df and we select the rank column within brackets like this, and we use the unique method and we run it. We can see here we have prof, astprof, and asosprof. It's 3 levels. So what about sex? So we change it here to the sex, and we have male and female. Here there are 2 levels. Now you're going to get the answer on the question, how do you create a dummy variable in Python? Well, we're going to use pandas, and pandas have the method getDummies, so we can use it. So remember, we imported pandas as PD, and we have the PD getDummies method. And the first argument here is the data frame. So we're going to use the data frame like this, and we can select the column sex and create a dummy variable. In fact, we're going to get 2 dummy variables. So here we're going to print the first 5 rows again because we don't want to see the entire data frame. Like that. You can see female is 0, male is 1. Now, this doesn't get us the entire data frame. We only get 2 new columns. So, of course, we can use another argument, and we use the columns argument. The parameters here is the columns that we want to use. So we're gonna first select only sex, put them here, and we still print the first 5 rows only. And we can see here that we get the entire data frame with the 2 new columns. However, in this example, we get the prefix and the prefix separator here. So we get the variable name sex added before the factor levels. Now, this doesn't save the data frame. So we're going to create a new data frame, DC, df underscore DC, we call it, for dummy coded. And we are not going to use the head method anymore. So we can still print DC head here, like this. And if we want to remove the prefix then, well, we can use the prefix argument and set the parameter like this with no white space. And we're going to remove sex, but we're still going to have the prefix separator. So we add prefix sep and do the same as with the prefix. This will remove the prefix sex when we will only have the female and male. See. Now, if we want to have 3 new columns with dummy variables in, well, we have the rank. We just change this to the rank, and maybe we want to have a prefix here. So let's run it, and you can see that we get the 3 new columns here, 0, 0, 1. So this subject is a professor, this is an assistant professor, and so on. Now, one neat thing with using pandas get dummies to create dummy variables in Python is that we can put more column names in this discipline. So if you want to have 2 columns and create dummy variables out of them, we can use the sex here also, and we will get 5 new columns in the data frame. You can see here we have the ranks, we have the sexes. We can, of course, put in also discipline. Make sure to spell it correctly. And we get 2 more columns. And here it might be good to have the prefix actually, because A and B might not be as descriptive as discipline underscore A and discipline underscore B. Now, you might already understood this, but you can also change the prefix if you want to. So for instance, if you want to change rank to title, we use the prefix argument and put title in here. And you see we get the title. We can also change the prefix separator. And we do the same. Put a dot here. Like that. Now, why bother with creating dummy variables in Python? Well, you can now continue with analyzing your data with regression analysis. In fact, regression methods requires numerical data. This means that when you want to include categorical variables in your model, you will need to dummy code them, or else your results will be hard to interpret. In this video, you got the answer to the question, how do I create a dummy variable in Python? It was easy. You just have to use Pandas getDummies method. You also got to learn how to add, remove, and change the prefix of the new dummy variables created in Python. Hope you learned something valuable, and you don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button. Also, share this video if you found it useful. You can also leave a comment below if there's something you need to learn that you want me to cover. Bye!